Hello, everybody. This is Diane, Natalist, and this is my follow-up to the last video. And I said that, my parents had cheated me grossly, but what I'm about to say is just so pathetic. I mean, it's laughable, if not extremely pathetic. But so when me and my brother, became of age, like 17 or whatever, I was, the oldest, and I was looking at schools and whatnot. My dad took me to his university, which was in Texas, and he took me to the university grounds and showed me around. I guess we took a couple of days of a trip or whatever. And so he was an only child. Very desirous position, I would say. I've envied every single only child friends that I've ever had. It's a choice position. Being the oldest is never the choice position. Being the oldest and having younger siblings behind you. But anyway, so my father's parents paid for his, his lifestyle. Bought him new cars, paid for his education, paid for his wedding, paid for his first house, just kept shelling out money. And my dad, once we had toured his campus, he goes, "Diane, who's going to pay for your education?" And I said, "Well, I guess you are." And he goes, "Nope, not me." He goes, "My parents did everything for me. They paid my entire way during school, high school, and thereafter." And he goes, "That made me a piece of shit. So you and your brother can do it on your own." Yep. That's what good old Daddy Wayne said. And so here's my mother's take on it. Okay. We, I was 17, 18, whatever. Not one drop of money was saved for us, and they were educated. They both worked. They had good jobs. They both had nice cars. They weren't short of money. Their children were short on money. Their children had nothing but old cars. I believe me and my brother's car, I know my car was 10 years old. It was a piece of crap. And I bought it for like $300. And it was 10 years old. My brother had an old car too, an old Camaro, and it was a piece of crap. So that's all we had. When we basically left home or whatever, that's old cars. And so my mother's take on, I guess why she didn't help us was, quote, "You don't need a college education. There's millionaires in this world who never went to college." Well, not in my day. And pretty much every baby boomer was educated or went to college. And it was not only competitive, but there were so many of us that if you were without a college education, you were really shortchanged. You were the odd man out. You were cheated to really ignorant parents. I don't know how I could have ended up with two selfish and narcissistic and just bitterly ignorant and thoughtless. I mean, it's bad enough that they brought us into the world, and then to have cheated us in such a gross fashion. And like pretty much everybody around me had parents who saved up for them, or who paid their tuition, or who took out loans for their children. Some parents struggled and scraped by in order to provide for their children, but not my mom and dad. It's a wonder that they even expected to be loved or cared for. I mean, that's the whole purpose of being a parent, right? To be loved and cared for, or even to be taken care of in their old age, or even to be respected. But you can't respect a parent who didn't respect their children and who didn't provide for their future. So, I mean, it's pathetic, and I'm horrified to even admit this, but it is the truth, 100% truth. And I just hope that shame is cast on my remaining parent, because she wasn't a good mom. Just wasn't a good mom in, hundreds of ways. It's just pathetic. I mean, when I was young, when a child is young, or when they're a teenager or a young adult, they consider themselves to be flawed, or they consider themselves responsible for how they were treated, and, abused children, neglected children. They blame themselves. They think something was wrong with them. Something was wrong with the parents. Any comments are welcomed below, and if anybody had the same circumstance, I would love to hear from you. I know that my situation is not that common in first worlds. But there are a few of us, and we have been outspoken, and I'm very outspoken. I've always been outspoken about my bad parents. I mean, I talked about this when I was like 15, at least by 15. I was telling my friends knew about my family life and the major shortcomings and the dysfunction, and I'm still talking about it. And it colors my self-esteem. It colors my feelings and my state of being. I mean, it's not something I fixate on, but it really shaped my world. I would like to know how your parents shaped your world.